Welcome back to Full Time Out, your favorite sports podcast, hosted by your boy AJ2K. Let me make sure my mic and everything is straight for today's episode. Make sure we good. Hold on one second. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. We pumping clear now. Thank everybody for tuning in today, man. Got an exciting episode. Got a couple guests popping on today to get their take on the question of the day. And the question of the day, or I got actually two. We got two questions today. First off, what's everybody's takeaways from the divisional round? And then we got the conference championship predictions, because I got to get everybody predictions for how y'all believe the rest of this playoffs will unfold. We got two big-time matchups coming up this upcoming weekend between the Chiefs and the Ravens. We got the Detroit Lions versus San Francisco 49ers. So it's a ton to get into. I just want to give a couple of my quick takes before I have a couple guests come fill in the time here today. My quick takeaways for the divisional round. I don't want to, say too many predictions just yet. I don't want to do that just yet, but I do want to give my takeaways really quick. I'm sick of the Chiefs. That's my first takeaway. I'm sick of the Chiefs, bro. I ain't gonna lie about it. I'm tired of the Chiefs, man. They are a dominant football team. They reminded me a lot of the Patriots back in the day with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and all of them, But you got to give respect and props where it's due. I did not think this team was equipped to get back to an AFC championship game. I just didn't. The way they looked all season long, what they say. They say you can't flip a switch. Everybody can't flip that switch and all of a sudden just be cold, in the postseason when they was kind of off in the regular season. And we've seen this team literally now flip the switch. And in all honesty, we've never had to see them flip the switch before because they've always been so dominant in the regular season. They've always been cold in the regular season. So this is the first regular season under Pat Mahomes where they haven't been, the favorite to come out of the AFC for. They haven't been the one seed, or they haven't had home field advantage. And I'm thinking they going home. You know what I'm saying? The Bills, they got some momentum going. They going to knock them out. Sure enough, they roll into Buffalo and they handle business. It's crazy to see, bro. It's crazy to see. On the flip side, I ain't gonna dive too deep into that right now. I just props to the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll get my predictions on how I think that the round gonna go for them next. The Bills might have missed a massive window. The Bills might have missed their window of opportunity here. I think Stephon Diggs may or may not be going after this season. Obviously, Josh Allen is a superstar talent, but we got some questions lurking here now. I'm not going to say he's the reason why they lost, but he's not getting it done either. That's all I'm going to say. He's not getting it done either. They're not advancing to where they need to go consistently with him at quarterback. And it's not a good sight, man. Like I said, they've been, for the past 3-4 years, they've been the team that everybody has looked at like they could come out of the AFC. And it just hasn't happened. You lost to Burrow. You lost to Mahomes now. Like I don't, and you got stumped by Burrow. Both of these games was at home recently. That's what you want. You want home playoff games, and to not be able to elevate your team high enough to win home playoff games, that's tough. That's tough. So, on to the next one real quick as I go back to my notes real quick here. Tampa Bay. And my guy Ant is here too, so I'm gonna have him pop on in a second. But Tampa Bay, my quick takeaway, bro. Baker Mayfield is solid. I've been telling my guy he gonna pop in here, man. We're gonna have to talk about it because I've been telling him Baker Mayfield is not bad. Like, he's a guy, he's a gamer. That's what I call him. He's a gamer. He's not the most accurate. He doesn't have, the most, the best arm talent out there. He isn't one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He ain't a top 5, even a top 10 guy, but he's a gamer. Like, he's a baller. We saw it in college and we seeing it now, in the pros. He's gonna have his up and downs. He's gonna have his good games. He's gonna have his down games, but Baker be there, and he's rarely ever rattled. I thought the Tampa Bay Buccaneers played a lot better than I thought they would. I didn't expect their defense to come out and play the way they did. Honestly, I thought they would be able to get more stops, get to Jared Goff a little bit more, but obviously that didn't happen, and Jared Goff and the Lions turned it up, when it mattered most. As far as the Lions are concerned, on the other side of the ball here, the Lions looking like a team of destiny, man. I ain't gonna lie. The Detroit Lions are looking like a team of destiny. The Detroit Lions are looking like a team right now that are poised to go to the Super Bowl. I'll get to San Fran in a second, but they looking like a team that could very well go on a run here. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's not really a run anymore. They've been on the run, but finish this run off with, at least advancing to the bowl, man. So I don't want to get too much. I don't want to get too much because I'm going to get to, say my predictions later, but I like how they look. Now, defensively, that secondary is uh, uh, questionable. Besides my boy CJ Gardner-Johnson, that secondary was getting ate up out there. That boy Mike Evans was doing this. He was cold for a second. I don't know what's been up with the drops lately with Mike, but when he turned up, he turned up. So that's something you got to watch out for if you the Detroit Lions. But outside of that, man, I think they might be the story of the playoffs right now to me. Like, this is crazy to watch it in real time. The Green Bay Packers in San Francisco. Green Bay has a bright future. I said it before and I'll say it again. That boy Jordan Love can play. Listen, I was high on him to start the season. I thought he would come out and, play really well. He did to start. Middle part of the season, he kind of tailed off a little bit. Wasn't really playing that great. I think he was going through a lot of those young pains, those rookie pains. Even though he's not a rookie, he was going through those growing pains, I would say. But towards the back half of the season, he got hot. And, they almost beat San Fran. Surprisingly, I think to just about everybody watching, I don't know if I expected them to get stomped, but I didn't expect them to be nearly as competitive as they were. They could have and probably should have beat San Fran, which has me looking at San Fran a little weird, but I don't know if I should be looking at San Fran weird or if I should be looking at Green Bay more like, are they just really that cold? Because, they smacked Dallas, and nobody expected them to go out there and smack Dallas. So you got to give Green Bay credit where it's due. Them boys is ballers. I like the playmakers that they have on both sides of the ball. I think their young receiving core is very underrated. That boy Aaron Jones, I don't know. Regular season, sometimes he be kind of hit or miss, but when it matters, he be with it. So I got to give props to Aaron Jones, where it's due, man. I think the Packers got a bright future, bro. Couple mistakes down the stretch that they made, bro. Dropped interceptions. The opportunities was there. Kickers missing kicks that sold them that game. That sold them the game. But all in all, if I'm a Packer fan, I'm happy today because you exceeded expectations. I'm a little heartbroken because you got so close to winning that game and you lost, but I'm hopeful if I'm a Packer fan for the future. Now you got an offseason, you know where your holes are. You can address those holes, run it back and see what you could do in the NFC that I think next year will be just as wide open. As far as San Fran is concerned, I'm concerned. Now, this defense, I think is still legit, even though it was okay, in all honesty, against the Green Bay Packers. On the offensive side, they need Debo. Like, the thing about the San Francisco 49ers is they need all of their pieces to be intact in order for that offense to run the way it needs to run. And it's obvious. When one or two of those pieces are missing, it just don't look the same. The timing is off. Brock Purdy don't look the same. Maybe it's because he couldn't grip the football. Who knows? Inclement weather, that happens in football. But the San Francisco 49ers don't, to me, look as dominant or that team that you fear as much as you did now, in the regular season. Everybody feared them in the regular season. And now I'm looking at this next matchup with the Detroit Lions. Like, if they play like how they played against Green Bay, against the Lions, they are going home. I'm just going to put that out there now. They cannot show up and play Detroit the same way they played the Packers. Because if they do, they go on to the crib. That's all I got to say about that. But they still in the dance. And I think they still should be favored at home, but they got to play better. The Texans, CJ Stroud, bright future. That team, you got to get Bell back, obviously, from injury. He will be back next season. But extremely bright future. D'Amico Ryans, great young head coach, great defensive coach. They are like in that same boat almost as the Green Bay Packers, except the Packers were a little bit more competitive. But I just think the Ravens are just head and shoulders above everybody. So that's tough. It's just a tough matchup overall. But they are in the same boat to me as the Packers, a young developing team with a young quarterback that can really take you places. That boy CJ is a dog. They came out strong. It was 10-10, ran that kickback for a touchdown, that punt. And then after that, in the second half, it got dicey because the Ravens are the Ravens right now. They're the number one seed for a reason. I think they're the best team in the league right now, so you got to give respect where it's due there. But I think they have an extremely bright future. They got to get some more pieces in the building. You get CJ a true number one. It can get ugly. The Ravens, best team in football right now. I must just say they are my favorite, bro. They are my favorite. They're the team that I honestly hope. I hope they win it off for a number of different narratives I'll get to in a second. But they started off kind of cold, at least by their standards. It was a tight game. Once they loosened up, the teams coming off that first round bye, it takes them a little time sometimes to loosen up, knock the rust off. And the Ravens had 2 weeks off, right? And so knock that rust off in the second half. They came back balling. Lamar Jackson, MVP of the league, playing like the best quarterback in the league. Hey, what more can you say? And that defense is lights out. It's simply lights out. It's nothing else you can really say about that defense. They are lights out. So the Ravens are that team. Are that team. But let me have my first guest come on, man. I think I'm gonna have my boy Ant come on first real quick. He was the first one here, so I gotta have him pop on real quick. I'm sure he gonna want to talk about his Buccaneers. And don't forget, man, give me your, you know what I'm saying, your conference championship predictions too, man. So without further ado, let's bring my boy on the screen. Ant, how you feeling, my boy? How you feeling? You muted. Hold on.
I'm feeling good, bro.
There you go. You feeling good?
First thing I want to say, I like Baker.
Okay.
He grew on me. He showed me some resilience. I don't think he was the reason why we lost yesterday. I don't think we adjusted on defense. The middle was wide open. And when we played against Jordan, the middle was wide open. I don't see why we're not adjusting to that. The middle was wide open the whole game, and Jared Goff ate it up. I can't lie. And we was dropping a lot of balls. I don't know what's going on with us dropping balls, but shout out to Detroit. We lost. Shout out to the Buccaneers because nobody thought we was gonna get here.
Right.
I didn't think we was gonna get here. Shout out Baker. I want them to re-sign him, bro. I feel like this is a good place for him. Because in Cleveland, even though he won a game, I still think it was still rocky. He's still inconsistent. But I feel like this is a good fit for him.
Yeah.
And Mike Evans said that hopefully we can get Mike to stay.
Right. I forgot that it was some, he didn't he say he wanted out or he ain't necessarily verbalized it, but like he didn't get no extension.
Year, so they couldn't come to an agreement. Hopefully that we can come to an agreement. I need Mike and Raymond James, bro. He has to be a Buccaneer. He is the Buccaneers. We found a way to re-sign Levante David, so we have to keep him, bro.
I feel that.
But shout out to Detroit. Now Detroit is going to go against. Like I told you, I thought I was almost correct. I thought San Francisco was going to lose.
Yeah, you did.
They was going to sell. Jordan Love kind of young. It happened. But I don't think San Francisco is who we said they is in the playoffs. I think Detroit got a good shot. So I'm leaning towards Detroit in that game.
Okay.
Now, I know you dislike Patrick Mahomes. We have to give Thanos his props, bro.
Thanos.
In the regular season, they was looking like nobody.
Man.
In the playoffs, bro, they are dangerous. And their defense is cold this year. With that being said, I still want Lamar to win.
Bro, is that who you rock? Is that who you picking to win? You picking Lamar?
I want Lamar to prove everyone wrong. I want this to be this is Lamar's year. Everything is lining up. He's healthy. Their defense is amazing. I need Lamar to win this. I'm going Lamar. I don't know. Okay, I'm still forgetting. I got Baltimore and Detroit.
Okay. I feel that. I like that. Now, question. I want to get back to your Bucks for a second. Question. Okay. I was thinking about this the other day. I was waiting to run it by you. I didn't get a chance to, but I can run it by you now. Is Baker the best quarterback that y'all had outside of Brady in the last probably decade or so? Because
if stats wise, okay, most likely.
Okay.
But if I'm being biased, I think Josh Freeman was cold.
Colder than Baker?
Stats wise, I guess so, bro. But James had some good stats too, bro. He just had 30 for 30.
Yeah, bro. And that's the problem. And Baker honestly ain't a guy that is known for, necessarily being conservative with the ball either. He's a guy that could turn the ball over at a rapid rate too. I was surprised that And he threw for 4K this year and didn't have. I forgot he didn't have a lot of turnovers. I remember that. I don't know the numbers off the top
went
of my head,
28
but
touchdowns, 10.
that's a very in 4,000
That's
passing yards. That's a
really
very
good.
solid stat.
I
That's
mean,
all. I just want to let the viewers know that me and this man Ant that had so many conversations about Tampa Bay this season where I was like, bro, Baker not bad. The times I've watched Baker has been solid. No, I'm not sold, bro. Nah, I'm cool on it, bro. I'm straight. I don't believe that. I'm like, bro, Baker is, you know what I'm saying? He decent. Now, full disclosure, when y'all met the Detroit Lions, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, yeah, Baker probably gonna show his true colors now. He probably gonna show his true colors now. That was my thought process. I ain't say it to you because I'm like, my boy a Bucks fan, so I ain't gonna say that to him right now. But like, you asked me that morning who I was picking. I'm like Detroit, bro. And in my mind, I'm like, I didn't expect Baker to go out there and have a day, but he threw two bad interceptions. I will say that the one at the end of the game was kind of like, how you not see the defender right there in front of you know what I'm saying? Like that was a bad moment, but for the most part, Baker go out there and play the way he played. I mean, I just expect more from y'all defense. In all honesty, I expect more from y'all defense, man. So I don't know, man, but I think y'all re-sign Baker and y'all make a couple adjustments on defense, get a little younger. I feel like on defense, bro. Make sure you get your boy Mike Evans back. Mike Evans got to catch that ball though, bro.
He do, bro. He do.
Mike Evans, and I know some of them been tough. Some of them been tough. I ain't gonna lie. Some of them been some tough catches to bring in, but it's Mike Evans. He got to catch most of them, bro. He even has some rough drops. You know what I'm saying? But y'all bring him back. Make sure y'all re-sign him, bro. I think y'all gonna be right back in the mix. I think y'all gonna be. I do think there's a ceiling for Baker. If y'all have an opportunity to go get another vet quarterback, and I don't know who's gonna be out there this offseason, but if y'all have another opportunity to go out there and get a better veteran quarterback, I would. But if ain't many out there, I would just draft a young guy and rock with Baker for the next couple years, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. He in a perfect system, but I'm just glad that you see it now, bro. You see it now.
It's still something in the back of my mind, like he's finna sell. Like,
I mean, yeah, like
every time, bro. And I'm trying to get over that. But I'm like, he finna sell us. He finna sell.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I said,
I give it to you, bro. You have been saying you've been consistent with that, and I've been denying it. But I feel like he's decent, bro. He's decent enough to go on with him.
Yeah, bro. But shout out to y'all, man. Like I said, y'all got further than I thought y'all would. Y'all took us out, and then y'all like my thing, bro, was if y'all go out there and y'all get stumped by Detroit, I was gonna really feel some type of way.
Me too, bro.
I was gonna really feel some type of way, like, bro, because like honestly, I did feel like when we lost to y'all, it was more about us than it was y'all. No disrespect to y'all, but that's how I felt as an Eagles fan. I'm like, bro, it was the dysfunction all the way down. Like we could have beat Tampa if we was just functional. We've already shown we could beat Tampa, right? But I'm like, we're gonna see how they look next round. If they come out next round and they mess around and beat the Lions, or they are competitive in this next game, then I don't feel that way. And sure enough, they was in the game late. Last question before I have you come off, bro. Why y'all go for two towards the end of the game, bro?
Bro. Same question I want to ask. Why? And I feel like it was plenty of times where Detroit was giving us stuff, bro. Detroit was giving us, and we wasn't taking it. We gotta get Todd Bowles up out of there. He's a good defensive-minded coach, but his decision making is terrible, bro.
Yeah.
Get him out of there, bro.
Yeah, because to go for two in that situation, they was trying to break down the analytics. They killing me with the analytics, bro. Yeah, it gives you a better chance of winning if you go for two. Like, bro, that don't make sense. Because if they don't, it work. If you score, if you get the 2-point conversion, cool, it worked. But if you don't score, now you gotta go for two again. Exactly. When you know what I'm saying? So instead of getting 7, now you need 8 just to tie. I thought that was I thought that was tough, bro. But I mean, it didn't. Luckily, I'll say luckily, I'll phrase it like that. Luckily, it didn't come down to that. Because that'd have sucked if y'all had scored and it's like, dang, we need the 2-point conversion now, and then y'all don't get the 2-point conversion. Then you really looking at your coach like, bro, really? Like, you kind of sold this game.
I mean, it is what it is at this point. Shout out Detroit, man.
Yes, all right.
I'm good, man.
Like I said, they looking like a team of destiny, bro. Hey, but I appreciate you coming on, man. Shout out to your Bucks, man. They took us out, man. Had me going on a whole rant last episode solo. So
All right,
we,
thanks for having me, bro.
of course, man. Appreciate you coming on.
So.
Yeah, man. Like I said, Tampa Bay, bro. I gotta give respect where it's due. Them boys came out, they played well. It's just Detroit. Like I said, Detroit looked like a team of destiny this year. Like Detroit looked like they're gonna be a tough out. And everybody they're gonna play San Fran. We got a San Fran fan on here too. We're gonna get to him in a hot second, but that might be the matchup. I know everybody hyped about Pat and about Lamar as they should be, but that NFC Championship game gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Before we get to that though, my boy Tez is in the building. I gotta have him pop on real quick. He a Packer fan. I know he gonna want to talk about the Packers. What he just seen in the playoffs, what he saw in the regular season, what do you think, you know what I'm saying, going forward, and how you think the rest of this playoffs is about to unfold. So for the first time on Full Timeout, what's going on, Tez, man? Welcome to the show. Let me make sure I unmute you there you go.
What do you do, my boy? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, my guy? What's going on?
Hey, man, thanks for having me, first of all, man. Shout out to what you're doing in your platform, man. You're doing amazing. I just had to say that first, so.
Appreciate that, man.
Brody. I love it.
I appreciate that. Thank you for coming on. I was trying to get you on a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I gotta get I was trying to hit up all Packer fans because I'm like, I was shocked that they made the playoffs for one.
For sure.
Then they beat Dallas. I'm like, bro, at some point, but then the Eagles lost, and I was like, I gotta get my stuff off real quick.
Right. So, then I had said today, I said, of course you want to have me on the pod after we lost. I was supposed to get on beforehand. I'm like, you gonna put me on now that my boys lost.
Man, I felt bad because people was hitting me up last week, like, bro, you got people coming on. I'm like, bro, I need the stage this time, bro. Like,
I felt you. That made sense. I felt you. Yeah, I was like, I was expecting like maybe he might have me on after. I was waiting for that. I'm like, oh, my boy going solo today. He got to get that off his chest. So,
bro,
yeah, that was perfect.
I don't know if you've seen the episode, bro, but I had to let it out, bro. I was furious, bro.
You broke it down too. You did amazing, bro. You did good. Yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, though. But even though they lost, though, the Packers, bro, I got nothing outside of them just being young and making, silly mistakes, missing opportunities, missed the field goal. I got nothing negative to say about the Pack. I feel like they've exceeded expectations, and bro, they should be in an NFC Championship game, bro. How you feel about it, man? How you feel about it?
Okay, yeah, we can. I think I want to break. I want to go to the beginning. No, we can start with the game. We can start with the game first. So,
okay.
Like you said, it wasn't really no expectation, but at the same time, I still wanted to win. And I probably can speak for most Packer fans. It's just the fact that it was San Francisco. So know, bro, the history of the Packers versus the Niners the last several years. It's just, bro, they always. I feel like that's our Super Bowl. Like I told him, like who was just on here. I told him, I'm like, bro, after they beat Dallas, I said if they beat San Fran, bro, I think we going to the bowl because I'm just like we can't get over that hump with them. So even though they're a young team, in the back of my mind, that made me mad because I'm like, man, it ain't no expectation. It's not really nothing, I'm gonna be upset about because I definitely didn't have them beating Dallas the way that they beat them too. And then now you asking to go on a road to beat San Fran. That's a lot. But it's gonna be tough, yeah. So yeah, that was tough from that standpoint. But just watching the game, I feel like that was the first game this season where not the first game, but I feel like at the worst time, everything unraveled as a young team. Because I know a lot of people want to blame the kicker, which he does get a lot of responsibility, bro. You can't miss that kick,
bro. You can't.
That changed the outcome of the game at the end. We would have had the ball, and we just would have needed to score, which would have been bad. Probably another field goal. So we don't know if we could have trusted him, but that changed the play calling. And then also, I feel like earlier in the game, they had so many missed opportunities. We dropped 2 picks. I think one for sure was a pick 6. It was the same person. It was the
Savage.
Savage. He had the same play the previous week versus the Cowboys. But then this week he dropped it. Another one they dropped. So it was just like several opportunities where we messed up. So then you don't want it to come down to that kick. And then also earlier in the game, they also had like 3 red zone attempts, but we only scored 2 field goals. You can't do that versus the number 1 seed in San Fran. You can't do that. I'm like, bro, this is going to come back to bite us. And then I like the call where they went for it on 4th down. But I think it was a bad spot because we didn't end up getting that, and that hurt us. I'm like, why y'all put the ball all the way back here?
That was a tough one. And I was wondering I was wondering, did they do like an automatic booth review on that, or did the coach have to challenge that in order for that to get reviewed? Because I kind of missed that
Yeah, I think they
exchange at the
mishapped that
end.
one. They didn't challenge that one. They just ran out on there with the yardstick and did it that way. They didn't. The referees came together and just decided like, okay, let's mark this to make sure. But I was mad at the spot because once I saw the spot, I'm like, oh, he don't got it. Before they even came out and did that, I'm like, bro, he didn't get that. So
facts. I won't say it was close. I know that it was close. It was very close. But I knew
close.
I knew in that moment too, like again against San Fran, and as an Eagles fan, I know, bro, like we against them, we got 2 stops to start the game, but we settled for 2 field goals. And even like during the game, while the game was going, I'm like, I feel good though. The offense is moving on this defense. You know, we putting up points. It's not 7, but I feel good. Then, bro, the avalanche came, bro. Like quick, bro. Touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, please stop.
That was my biggest takeaway is like it's like I'm not disappointed because how could you be? This team exceeded expectations. They had us probably winning like 4 or 5 games. So to break that mode to even make the playoffs was crazy. Like I would say probably besides the Bills, they probably was like the hottest team going in because I know over the last like 8 weeks they only had lost like 2 games, and then you beat Dallas on the road in that fashion that you do. Then you play San Fran, and I didn't like. Now, the thing I would say I was like right about, I didn't like how they had us a 10-point favorite underdog. And I know that earlier you said, is it more like you looking at San Fran side eye or is it Green Bay this good? I think it's actually a little bit of both because like I said, I was like, no, the Packers, I predicted that we'd lose the game, but I'm like, it's not going to be a blowout. I'm like, I don't understand why they got the 10-point things. And then we saw that early on. So it's just frustrating because it's just really the Niners, just like a respect thing where it's like Bear fans. Of course, they hate the Packers because they keep beating them. So I feel the same way about the Niners. It's kind of like even the Bills with the Chiefs. Like the Bills beat the Chiefs a couple of times in the regular season, and over the last several years, the Packers beat the Niners a couple of times in the regular season. But every time we get to that postseason, we just can't get over that hump. But the last drive, Jordan Love, I didn't like how he threw that. That was his worst throw of the whole season. That was
bro. That was tough.
Like, bro, he gave me Brett Favre flashback.
Bro, facts.
Bro, everybody keeps saying you look like Brett and a little bit of Aaron. It's like that. You cannot go across your body throwing it back that way. You threw it to 3 people, my boy.
Young mistake. That was tough.
Yeah, and it was 50 seconds left. We still had 2 timeouts. So I'm like,
only needed a field goal to tie.
So, but shout out to the Niners, man. They did their thing. It was looking shaky earlier. I feel like the offense we had what we wanted, and even the defense they did play well because that's always been a thing with Green Bay. The first touchdown, that was a beautiful throw by Brock Purdy, but that safety had came down. He wasn't supposed to come down on that play. We gave up a big play right there, and then when Debo went out, I'm like, okay, like you said, I knew that was gonna mess them up a little bit,
right?
Because they need him to do a lot with their offense, but then Christian McCaffrey showed why he Christian McCaffrey. That was my person I was worried about going into the game. So when Debo got hurt, I'm like, dang, it's gonna help us out. But I know Christian, they're gonna run through him now. So shout out to the Niners, man. But overall, I would say I'm happy with the Packers. Like you said, man, ton of youngest team to make the playoffs, then win the playoff game when we were only expected to win 5 games. I know people say, no more victories and stuff like that. Like, I'm kind of in between on. I don't know if I feel that way all the time because it's like, literally, if you're a Packer fan, there's no way you should be really mad right now. Like I said, besides the fact that we lost to the Niners, that's the part in the back of my mind, like, oh, that sucked. But why would I be upset when, the Aaron Rodgers departure, all this stuff with the all season? And I'm gonna give some credit to Matt LaFleur as well. Like, I was hard on Matt LaFleur because I'm like, okay, you had Aaron, so how much of this is really him or you? And then I think he had a great game plan yesterday along the season. Like earlier in the season, I don't think he trusted Jordan Love that much, and you can kind of tell with the play calling. But as Jordan Love developed, I feel like Matt LaFleur unleashed it, and that was amazing. So shout out to him too, because I feel like as far as like game planning and offense, he proved a lot to me because I was on his tail for a lot. I'm like, I don't know if he really liked that because you on the hot seat as much as we trying to figure out Jordan Love. So, and then I would say one of my last points would be that's what the season really was all about, to see if Jordan Love was that guy. And I think we got our answer, man. I don't want to jump the gun too. It's one season. You can't really like go back in time and see like a progression that we just saw with Jordan Love over one season. Normally that's like a year or two where he started off like pretty bad. And then in the middle, you can see a little bit him progressing, and then them last 8 weeks, he just took off. I think you said 2 weeks ago. Really, if you being honest, like if you just go look at the stats, he really played better than any quarterback in the league. Maybe besides Lamar Jackson, that's about it. The 21 touchdowns, 1 interception before the San Francisco game.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, shout out to Green Bay, man. Like the season was all about seeing if Jordan Love was that guy. We exceeded expectations by even making the playoffs and doing what we do. So I'm happy for the future. I just hope Green Bay don't mess this up. This is the time where you got the youth, and most of the time when you got a young team like that, you're not competing. But the fact that we look like we can be like something serious and like build something here, you want to do that while these players are on their young contracts, because then you ain't got to pay them right now, and that's how you build that. Kind of like what the Chiefs was doing that first, and then you saw when they had to pay Tyreek Hill and how that played out. So I just want them to seize this moment and don't mess up. And shout out to Brian Gutekunst, the GM too, because he's been making some great drafts too, some great picks.
Yeah,
so like I said, they can hold this together, man.
Yeah, y'all. I think, like I said, I think y'all set up for success. Y'all got a really young, the whole team young, bro. Like the whole team is young.
Both sides of the ball.
That's what I'm saying. So I think y'all set up. I think y'all set up for success. Y'all coach, like he finds ways to like, bro. Guys was wide open sometimes, bro. Especially in the Dallas game.
Yeah, the Dallas one was crazy.
Nobody 10 yards within the receiver. You know what I'm saying? So like your coach makes it easier on your quarterback too, which a young quarterback needs a coach, an experienced coach to make it easier on you. But again, the part I like most about it, bro, is you could tell he nowhere near his ceiling yet. Yeah. If you get him a true and it's no shade towards y'all young receivers, because y'all got some great young receivers. But if he did have that go-to guy for real, oh my goodness, that helps everybody. That helped, Jalen Hurts. It helped Josh Allen. Like all the young quarterbacks, once they get that guy, their game jumps to another level. So if y'all manage to do that within the next couple years too, and then keep most of that young core intact, y'all gonna be a team to mess with in the NFC.
Because most of the time you need that vet, like a vet tight end, that one receiver. The fact that he didn't have that and still did that, and make it even more impressive for Jordan Love. So I hope they just seize this opportunity and don't mess this up. And it's kind of funny because it's like a lot of people, of course, like I got to throw a little jab at the division, but shout out to the Lions for sure. But I know they was happy because they're like, Rodgers gone. You guys are finally going to know what it feel like to be us. That probably was my favorite moment too, where it's like, no, we trying to pick right back up where we left off at, where it's like, we still here. Y'all was thinking we was going to win 4 or 5 games, and then the season ended perfect. We beat the Bears to start the season, and then we beat them to end the season. So it's like, nothing changed. Like, that's a little funny, jab at my Chicago people. But
I feel that.
Yeah, and I'm going to give my divisional my predictions, too, because I know you asked about predictions. So
yeah.
I'm going to start with the NFC.
Okay.
Man, shout out to the Lions, man. Me being a Packer fan, no hate, nothing like that, man. Them boys, I had them winning the division. I knew there was going to be some competition. There was going to be serious this year. Man, they got a fairy tale story for real. Like that's insane. Like this is second, I think, NFC championship like ever, or so
something like that.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
So we in our lifetime, we ain't never seen them do this.
Exactly. I'm saying this is our first time. So I think they got a real chance. Like I want to pick them, but I'm gonna actually go with San Fran, even though I'm just sticking to I'm gonna get to the AFC. That was my pick, like going into the playoffs and kind of like this year. I just think this like San Fran, year maybe, but like you said, they are kind of looking shaky. But you hit it on the money. If they play like they just did with Green Bay, though, no, that's not gonna work with, because they gonna cash in. They offense gonna score the points that we couldn't when we was in the red zone. So I'm gonna go with San Fran, but if they play like how they just did, that's not gonna work. And then in the AFC, I'm going like what my boy said. Hey, I feel you with the Patrick Mahomes stuff. This stuff is crazy, bro. Like this man just 6 straight AFC championships is crazy, bro. Buffalo, this was y'all year to do. Like it's set up perfect, and y'all still couldn't get it done, bro. Like I'm gonna go Lamar though. That was my predictions. The Ravens, Niners, Super Bowl, and I'm sticking with that on the Lamar train. I think like this year, like they said, like my boy Ant said, and you said, he been healthy. He finally got a couple weapons and stuff like that. Their defense is amazing. So he got the home game. This is what you asked for. Like this day moment too. Like it don't get no sweeter than this. Like beating Patrick Mahomes to get to the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna go Ravens and I'm gonna go Niners, man. That's my prediction for right now.
That's fair. I like that. I like that, bro. I like that, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on today, man. Real talk,
Oh
man.
man,
Great
appreciate
analysis, man. Great analysis,
appreciate you,
bro.
G.
Like
Yep.
for sure, man. Shout out to your pack, man. They made a hell of a run, bro. We gonna see about them
Appreciate
next
you,
year.
my boy.
Hopefully, they own the Eagles schedule this upcoming season though, so we might have to get y'all up out of there. You know what I'm saying? We might have to, you know what
I know.
I'm saying? But no, I appreciate you coming on, man. Real talk.
For sure, my boy.
Yes, sir. All right, next. Now, we've been throwing a lot. I feel like we've been throwing a fair amount of shots at the 49ers. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like we've been throwing a whole lot of shots at the San Francisco 49ers. So I think it's only right and it's perfect timing. I've been trying to get this man on for a few weeks now. My boy Dave finna pop on his show and represent his Niners, man, and defend these guys, man. Because like I said, I feel like we've been throwing a lot of shade. He got the banner in the background for the people listening over the radio. NFC West champion. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see it on the tube. He not playing, man. Dave, how you feeling about your Niners and about the rest of this playoffs, man?
I feel good about my squad. I don't feel good about that game on Saturday, but I feel good about my squad.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm excited about where we're going right now. I feel good but bad because of what I predicted early in the season about how everything was going to unfold. I did have us making it this far. I had us making it to the Super Bowl and everything. But, it was, that was me basically saying that because of the whole Trey Lance situation, then Brock Purdy better be the guy. That's pretty much what it was for me. Because it wasn't that I doubted him, but for me, it was like, why do we trade away 3 first-round draft picks to draft someone to only trade him 2 years later for a 4th-round pick to our NFL rival, not division rival, our NFL rival?
That's facts.
It just didn't make sense to me. But we here. We in the NFC Championship game again. The last 7 times we've made it to the playoffs, we've made it to the NFC Championship game. 4 of the last 5 years we've been here. We just need to make it to the Super Bowl and win it. This is my only professional team I have not witnessed win the entire thing. So that's what I'm really focused on. But shout out to the Packers though. They actually played a really good game on Saturday. As I expected, I didn't expect a blowout win. I expected it to be a close game. I didn't expect this to be down 7 heading to the 4th quarter. I wasn't feeling that. So,
I'm already knowing. But that's your first time, I think, under Shanahan coming back from being down, going into the 4th quarter, winning the football game.
Very first time. So I got a question for you. Was that enough for you? Because remember you said something. Said something on my show. You said something on our show that you didn't see enough. You just want to see it one time. He did it that one time. So what you gonna say about my boy Purdy now?
So I will admit, when I seen y'all down, I really didn't necessarily count y'all out, even though y'all have that record. I still respect y'all pedigree and who y'all are as a football team. And I just, as much respect as I have for the Packers, it still would have been shocking to actually see them win that football game. Even though they kind of had it in their hands, it still was like, it's the Niners, though. They really finna, at 1 seed getting upset by a 7 seed, is that really about to happen? So I still was kind of hesitant on, going that far with it. As far as Purdy is concerned, I want to be honest, bruh. Did he surprise me towards the end? Yes, with the game-winning drive. He did win the game at the end, and I give him props for that. Am I sold on him? I'm still so iffy on him, bro. Like, all the drop opportunities, all the drop interceptions, and I know that's football. That happens. You know what I'm saying? That, guys, I can't fault you because other guys didn't capitalize on your mistakes. I understand that. But going into this Lions game, I have concerns because, like I said, and like my boy Cortez said, if you're coming into this matchup and you play the same way, if Brock played that same way, you got 2 interceptions at least and probably an L. And so I applaud him for, making what I called it earlier. I called it his MVP moment. You could say that was an MVP moment because he did it in the playoffs. He led you to a victory against a team that was hungry, young, ready to take you out. You did it without Debo, and obviously without Debo, the offense is different. Like, you can make the argument for CMC, you can make the argument for Trent Williams, but without Debo almost has the same effect when he's not out there. The timing looks off, Purdy looks off, the whole offense, the play calling, everything just looks off. So you could really make the argument that maybe he might be the most important player on offense or the second most important player on offense. But as far as Purdy is concerned, I'll give him his respect for making those plays at the end of the game. But I still find myself looking at it like something's missing, and I want to see if he plays better, because like I said before, you know, the number one seed sometimes they come out rusty, and that could have been some rust against the Packers. It could have been, or it could be who they are at this point in the season. So I'm really interested in seeing how they match up against the Lions, because it's like they playing with fire if they play like that again, bro.
If that's who we are going into the season, then I would be shocked. Because if you looked at how we played at the end of the season, we went back to where we were before we played the Ravens. We were that team that was basically blowing every team out, even the good teams. We saw what happened when we played the Cowboys, blew them out at home, 42-10. You saw what happened when we played the Eagles, even though we understand that your defense is not what it was last season, but 42-19. And then we had when we played against the Jaguars coming out of our break, 34-3 in Jacksonville. So that's what we are. That's what we are. We are the team that beats up on other teams, and we play physical, and we force turnovers, we run the ball, and that's not what we did on Saturday. We did not run the ball. That was the thing that was to me. You know, we are 8-0 when we run the ball with Christian McCaffrey 20 times.
I didn't know that.
We're undefeated. We don't win a lot of games when he doesn't run the ball
a fair amount
of times. He only ran the ball 17 times. Luckily, Brock Purdy ran the ball 6 times, which got us over that 20 mark. But it didn't count because it wasn't CMC. Because if it wasn't for that 9-yard run that Purdy had in that game-winning drive, we might not have gotten that Christian McCaffrey touchdown on 3rd and 1.
That's fair. That's very fair. That's very fair.
For me, for me, it's all about the play calling for me. Kyle Shanahan has this thing that when he goes into the playoffs and it's a big game, he does not call what got him there. And that's what upsets me about Kyle Shanahan. I think me and my guy Eric said this on the R2L show, that when this happens, he gets too quarterback happy. And this is what what Carr just said on our show not too long ago, that Kyle Shanahan wanted to show that he got an MVP quarterback. Kyle Shanahan, look, I get you. I was with you on that train about him being the MVP during that time. He ain't the MVP no more. It's Lamar Jackson. Let's get that out your head. You don't need to try to prove that he can throw the ball. He's proven it this year. Not everyone's going to believe it. And that's perfectly fine. That's as long as we believe in in-house, that's all that matters. It's cool. It's cool. I hear a lot of people saying that he just missed a check down. That's false. We know that's not true. He has the most deep pass touchdowns this season. He has the most of anybody. No one has more than 4. He has, I think, 5 or 6 this season alone by himself. Sheesh. So he's doing that. He leads the league. He led the league in completion percentage. He was 2nd in yards this year, or 3rd in yards this year. He had the best QBR, the best pass rating. Like, come on, Kyle, that's enough. We know who the best player on our offense is. It's Christian McCaffrey. Feed him the ball.
Fair.
Feed him the ball. There's no argument over who the team MVP is. The team MVP is CMC, clearly. He's breaking all 49ers records right now. So he's the guy. But
the most valuable on the team.
Debo is right there with him as far as value. Because and I'll say this too, because a lot of people are not saying this, but the offense didn't look good when Debo was in there either. Because
that's fair. That's fair.
Because Kyle Shanahan was throwing the ball. Kyle, this is not what got you here. And plus, CMC was averaging 6 yards a carry. If we kept running the ball, Jordan Love wouldn't have had that many chances to be able to get any touchdowns. And our defense would have been well rested. We wouldn't have allowed 21 points. We don't allow that this year. I think we're 3rd in points allowed this season. Like, come on. Kyle, you're not helping your defense out by having your offense to have so many 3-and-outs. Go ahead.
So do you think Kyle will make the necessary adjustments in the conference championship? Like, are you concerned that what you've seen now in this previous round is going to transfer over to the conference championship round and going to put y'all at risk of getting bounced out?
I'm very concerned. I'm not going to lie. I'm concerned because I've seen Kyle Shanahan do this multiple times. He did this with Jimmy G. Remember in the Super Bowl, we were running the ball with Raheem Mostert and we were winning that game. We were up by 10 points. And then he started throwing the ball with Jimmy G. I'm like, Jimmy G is not that kind of a quarterback. Stop.
Right.
You're messing it up. That's not what wins us games. We run the ball. We are a physical team. Do what got you there, Kyle. Now, do I think we're going to win? Yes, I believe we're still going to win this game. But I'm concerned that if he goes into this game with that same game plan, that it's not going to be the way that I think it's going to go. So, Kyle, don't stress me out again, man. That's all I'm going to say. Don't stress me out again.
I feel you, bro, 100. Because I know, man, we was in the chat. Like, I know Dave's sweating. We had all the memes, bro. Like, I know he's somewhere sweating watching this game. And like I said, I'm watching just kind of still in shock. Because I'm like, again, like I said before, are the Packers this nice? Or are the Niners just kind of slipping at the wrong time? You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to figure it out. Next round will tell me pretty much everything I need to know. But like I said, I don't want to give my predictions just yet. But like I said, I am concerned, bro. I am concerned, and maybe that's the eagle coming out because I don't want to see, I want to see y'all win, bro. You know what I mean?
I know it's all good. It's all good.
But it's out of respect, though. It's out of respect. It's just I don't want another great team in the NFC like the Niners or the Cowboys to come out and win it if we couldn't do it. I'd rather have the Lions do it because they might be a one-trick pony. They might be, say they only do it 1 year, the next year they irrelevant. I can't say the same thing for Dallas and San Fran. But before I let you go, give me your prediction on the AFC championship game.
It's basically my preseason prediction. I predicted 2 teams to be in the Super Bowl. Those 2 teams are the number 1 teams in both sides. I expect both teams to win. So I got the Ravens beating Kansas City.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, bro, man. I appreciate you for coming on today, my boy, representing your 49ers, bro. Like I said, it was great timing, man, because we was on here like, bro, we don't believe, we don't know. So perfect timing to have somebody come on and represent, man. Appreciate you coming on.
I expect everybody to not believe. All that matters is what we believe. We believe that this is our year. So we'll see what happens.
That's facts, man. Appreciate you, my boy. All right, next up, we got my boy Biddle back. My boy Biddle is back, and we talked about this earlier. I kind of hope he don't bring up the Eagles, to be real with you, man. Even though he probably gonna be like, man, what happened to your birds? I'm gonna have to be like, let me quickly tell you what happened to these boys, man. I gotta get it off my chest again. But I gotta have my boy come on because again, as y'all found out the last episode, we went live and I had guests on. He is a Packers fan, and last time he came on the show, we talked about how we didn't think that, they would get past Dallas and how he was just happy to be here. And then next thing you know, them boys was stomping out Dallas. And then after that, next thing you know, they in a dogfight with San Fran. So without further ado, man, Biddle, how you doing? How you feeling, man? Let me hold on. Let me see. Bow. There we go.
What's going on, man? Feeling great. Feeling great, man.
That's good. As you should. As a Packer fan, man. Did you like what you saw? What you saw?
Feeling very optimistic, man. I number one, I didn't expect that either. Like the whole team is just pulling stuff out the hat that we haven't seen, coming to the whole season. I want to say right up until like the last few weeks of the season, and you really started to see. You always knew they had the potential, but you really started to see just flashes of greatness, particularly with Jordan Love. Yeah, man, I think on like 2 things. Number one, when they beat the Cowboys, obviously we knew the future was bright. And I think that, again, the dogfight that they were in really solidified that. But then number 2, kind of shifting gears with the 49ers, I think the Packers exposed some things, man. I feel like if I knew football a little more, I'd be able to break it down a little more intricately. But
right.
I saw something. Number one, I saw the fact that they couldn't stop the run, which was interesting because I don't know if it was a commentator or who said it, but they were one of the best run defenses this year.
Yeah.
And it didn't really look like it. So I don't know if it was just, the combination of the scheme and, just some of the positions that and some of the formations that that Matt LaFleur had them running. I don't know if it was an off day, but they can't. Who do they play next, man?
The Niners?
Yeah.
Detroit.
Not the line. Yeah, Detroit.
Detroit can run that ball. They
Yeah,
can
I was
run
about
that
to
ball
say,
now.
man, they can't afford to have a run defense or a defensive run game like that because all the other teams in the playoffs can run.
Man,
So
this is what I'll say about the run game thing. Teams don't come out trying to run the ball against them a ton, or they don't stay committed to it because they can't. San Fran usually pounces on everybody. Pause for the Wild ones.
know.
They normally pounce on everybody, and you know what I'm saying. They get an early lead, and then they take you out of your game. Now you throwing the ball much of times, and that's when
Right.
Bose and them boys sack you in the pocket, get to the quarterback. And so I think that's really what it is. If you can get a lead, and it's always been a talk about the Niners because their record was 0-30 when they was going into the fourth quarter without a lead. If you can get a lead on the Niners and run the football, then you working with something. Because I do think they're great at stopping the run, but I don't think that's what they want to do. They want to get after the quarterback. They want to get a lead and get to the quarterback. So once the Packers was able to kind of hang in the game, take the lead, and bruh, that boy, Aaron, bro, y'all backfield crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. Like the boy, he killed, dominated Dallas.
Right.
When he came out there and did this thing against San Fran, I was impressed, bro. I was impressed. So I think more teams will be able to run the ball on San Fran, but the key is you got to come out and get an early lead. You got to come out like the Packers did on that first drive. You need at least a field goal, preferably a touchdown, get an early lead, get a stop, and then you could play your game. You could play your game. But the last thing you want to do is compete from behind against San Fran because they run it up. They like Dallas in that way. They will run it up. So I think that's probably why, for the most part, that run game kind of went off the way it did.
Yeah, I think so too. I think another thing that I noticed is that, and I haven't watched them a ton this year, just because I don't know if it was just they just weren't showing up on the channels that I got, but I think that from what I've seen, it kind of feels like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they struggle with mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're not the greatest for mobile quarterbacks. Yeah, we saw it against Lamar. Lamar really gave him hell,
gave him that work,
gave him yeah. So that's a thing. It's definitely a thing.
I'm curious to see how they do against the Lions because
Goff said their best run defender just came back. So okay, that might be a part of it.
Yeah,
that might be a part of it. But go ahead, my bad.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm curious to see how Goff does against them. But man, the Lions too, bro. Like I low key, we'll get to what we want to see in the Super Bowl, but like I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Lions, man. I think it's a really great story. And I know it's, division rivalry and everything, but I mean, we out of there. So the least I could do is root for, the division fam. And like, man, I really like what I'm seeing from the Lions, bro. Like I'm a big fan of Dan Campbell. Just his number one, he's a good coach, I feel. And just like his like personality and his morale, like he just seems like that big dude that just you just want to play for, you know what I'm saying? You want to play hard for. He's clearly a leader of men. Like they showed I don't know if it was on First Take or Sports, I don't know, but they showed like a little clip of the post game in the locker room after this past game, and he just, man, everybody rallied around him. Like like you don't always see that. Like I think the most recent example that I saw was what's the quarterback of the Dolphins name?
Tua.
Not the quarterback, the coach, not the quarterback.
Oh, I forget his name. McDaniels. I think it's like Mike McDaniels.
Mike McDaniels, yeah. So like I saw him. I was kind of watching. I didn't fully watch Hard Knocks, but I was just kind of watching it. And he just looked kind of awkward.
Yeah, he a weird dude.
You know
he
what I mean?
Dude,
like,
sure.
He seems to get a lot out of him, which is dope. But like it was just kind of weird seeing that, and then seeing Dan Campbell. It's just night and day. So I'm rooting for them low key, like at least on the NFC side.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I'm favoring them in the matchup. I think they got some favorable matchups. Like I said, my biggest concern for them, honestly, bro, is that secondary. Like the Lions secondary, outside of CJ, that's my dog. That's my guy. I wish we'd re-signed him. There's a lot of talk about that. But outside of him, bro, on the outside, they are bro, they suspect. They is suspect.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I fear with them, bro. Like like Mike Evans was killing, bro. Mike Evans kind of got whatever he wanted. Yeah, he dropped a couple passes here and there. We just talked to Ann about that. But like bro, that's where it could get dicey. What was that?
Even the Rams.
Yeah,
I forgot who their tight end is, but the tight end and then Puka, like they was getting theirs.
That's what I'm saying. And now, hopefully Debo, I'm assuming Debo is going to play. They saying he's 50-50. Debo is going to play. I'm pretty sure he's gonna. They gonna shoot up that shoulder. He gonna be, man. They gonna do what's necessary. He gonna be on that field. He know what's at stake. It's no way. And you see how the offense is without him in there. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no way. There's no way he doesn't play in that game. But they got him and Ayuk out there. Even Kittle. I mean, they spread Kittle out wide if they really want to, and really expose you. So like that's the one area of their defense that I look at like. That's where they could get got. But on the flip side, San Fran kind of got the same issues. You know what I'm saying? Like outside of Ward, they secondary kind of suspect too. So, they had Ufanga, but he went out with that. I think it was ACL injury earlier in the season. He out. So that's kind of their weakness too. But the key, can they run the football like how y'all ran the football? That boy Gibbs, a lot of people was kind of like, why would the Lions go and draft a running back so early? I was not. I knew right then because I wanted him to low key fall to the Eagles in the second round. But Gibbs, bro, Gibbs is like that.
Boy is
like,
a monster.
That boy,
he was
nice.
Man,
like,
he was eating in fantasy. I was pissed whenever I had to go against bro.
That's bro. I'm saying like he's a problem. He's a problem, bro. So I wasn't mad when they drafted him. And I think he's a back that can give them trouble. Now, I keep on saying this stuff. I don't want to completely dismiss the Niners because, like, the game against the Packers could have just been one of those days for them where it just wasn't a good day. We've seen this team be dominant like all season besides the Ravens game when healthy. Nice. Like, we've seen them be completely dominant. So there is a possibility that, the Lions on the road could come out and play like trash. You just never against this team. They played them elite defenses. We saw how they looked against the Ravens earlier this year too. And so, and the Bears gave them trouble earlier this season too. The Bears defense is kind of, but they got mismatch issues that they was able to pose on the Lions. So I'm not trying to dismiss San Fran, but like I said, this Packer game got me looking at them funny, bro.
That's
like, wait a minute.
Man. Like,
wait a minute.
We wasn't supposed to make this far. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk, man. Real talk. How you feel? I don't know if you said it already. How you feel about the AFC, the AFC Championship?
Man, it's tough, bro. It's tough because I feel like, man, like you can't really go wrong in terms of like. Now that my team is out, if I'm trying to choose somebody to root for, you know what I mean? It's like it's easy to root for Pat Mahomes, but Lamar is my guy. Lamar is my quarterback on fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Him and Goff. But like, right. And it's been I don't know if it's a black male thing, but like whenever people talk crazy about Lamar, whether it's a news, a pundit, an analyst, some random dude on Instagram or Twitter, X, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like he talking mess about me and the whole community. And it's just like, nah,
right. Depending on what they saying, he's not quarterbacky enough for me. Like, bro, get out of here with that.
Yeah, man. So I've been low key rooting for him for the whole season, man. Like I really think. I wouldn't be mad if the Lions won one. If Pat Mahomes won another one, I think it's about time Lamar get his, man. And I think that in terms of how the team is gelling as a whole, could he use some more weapons on offense? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Especially with, Mark Andrews gone. And is somebody else gone or is everybody else healthy?
I think everybody else is healthy.
Yeah, I feel like Mark Andrews, but he was a big one on the tight end, so like aside from that,
likely didn't stepped up in a big way though.
I was about to say, like he's been snapping
in a big way.
Facts. I let him go like week 2, and I'm kind of salty about that. But nah, man, I feel like they're gelling on all cylinders, and this. I feel like this might. I mean, obviously they got a window. You know what I'm saying? Like this, still got a pretty young team for the most part, but I feel like it's just everything is just like set up for this year to be, they dominated the Niners. They've more or less been dominating the league. You know what I'm saying? So I really want him to get his. But again, like the Chiefs, you can't count out Pat Mahomes, man.
That's fair.
You can't count out,
fair.
Yeah, and Coach Reed, and like, man, they just, no matter how they look during the regular season, when it comes time to handle business, they handling business. So it's just like, man, this is gonna be what I think. This might be the second best game of the playoffs. Obviously, with this, I think the Super Bowl is just going. I think the Super Bowl is going to be the best game, like regardless of who's in there. Yeah, but I think this might be the second best. It might be the best. I don't know, but it's definitely going to be up there. Like, this is going to be a battle for sure.
It's definitely going to be a matchup. Like I said, much respect to Pat. I didn't think Pat was going to get here again, but here he is again, bro. Like
I thought the Bills had him.
I did too. I thought the Bills was gonna knock them out, bro. I was rooting for the Bills because I had certain narratives I was trying to push, but I can't even push them no more. Like I can't even do it no more, man. So I'm salty about that, but I don't want to give too much of my predictions away right now. But I feel what you're saying, especially when it comes to Lamar, bro. I'm rooting for Lamar like crazy, bro. So many narratives he gets to knock off now, being a mobile quarterback, and really the most mobile quarterback we didn't seen probably since. Maybe Vic for real. You know what I'm saying? So probably I'd say the best. I would say the best mobile quarterback we've seen since probably Vic. Cam Newton probably got something to say about that too. But like Lamar, different. Like Lamar is crazy. So I'm definitely rooting for him. I'll say that, bro, because it would just be nice for that to finally happen and open up some doors for some other players that have similar skill sets. Now you can't say at one point it was they can't read defenses. Another point it was they can't lead an offense and make the playoffs. Then it was they can't win playoff games. Then it was now they can't win a Super Bowl. Oh, we didn't see Steve McNair get there. We didn't see Donovan get there. We didn't see Vic get to an NFC Championship game. We didn't see Cam get there. But they ain't win it. So now we got that to hold on to. It's time to knock that down, bro. It's time to knock that down. Real talk, bro. Real talk. But got to get my last guest in here, man. I appreciate you coming on today, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure. Always. You already know.
Shout out to Yo Pack. Gotta have you back on again sometime soon, man. But shout out, bro. Like I said, shout out to Yo Pack, bro. They surprised me. I was rooting for y'all, man. It's just
it's up, bro.
But the future is bright. The future is very bright for y'all, man.
I'm looking forward to next season for sure, bro. Like, cause like bro said, Gutekunst is doing his thing in terms of building the roster, man. So I'm excited to see what they put around him come next season.
Facts. I feel that, bro. All right, then, man. I appreciate you coming on, my boy. Future bright for y'all, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Last guest of the day. We got my boy Carl coming on. Perfect timing again. We got a Ravens fan coming on representing the Baltimore Ravens, man. Let's get his thoughts. Let me unmute him. How you doing, my boy? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
I forgot he rocking with the Lions too. And you did say last time you came on that the Lions is a potential team that can knock off the Niners. And now they got that opportunity. So I'm curious to hear how you feel about the divisional round and if you feel like they really about to knock off the Niners.
So, divisional round. Great games. Only blowout was my Ravens. Rubber needs to hit the road. Lamar goes 3 straight touchdowns, go 21 points. Defense do what they did all night. Pitts almost a shutout, gave up 3 points. Just spectacular game there. Lions offense has just been humming. It's been clicking. 2 different running backs scored. Jameer Gibbs, my dog Craig Reynolds. I don't know if he was in the chat at the time. I put in the chat, man. I've been rooting for Craig Reynolds since 2021, man. When I see him trying to make the Lions, I've gone from watching him get major burn in the fourth quarter in preseason games trying to make the team to getting a couple snaps like a year or two later to scoring a touchdown in an NFC divisional round game. So shout out to Craig Reynolds, man, the perseverance. And shout out to the Lions for keeping them around. Noticing that they got a pretty good back as a third string back. So shout out there. Defensively for the Lions, made plays, stepped up when they needed to make plays. CJ, I know, eat your heart out, caught a pick. Derek Barnes, linebacker, was a captain last year. I think he's a captain this year, caught the game-winning interception. So shout out Derek Barnes. But just great games overall. I got to talk about my dog, old Patty. almost got you kicked out of an association we have.
Man.
Patty got the dub against Josh Allen. I ain't gonna lie. Now that game had me more stressed than the Ravens game, to be honest. But
Yeah,
my boy pulled through. Y'all gotta stop with my dog Patty, man. Y'all gotta realize my dog is really like that.
I really didn't think he was gonna be able to do this. Like, bruh, you know what they say about, you know what I'm saying, teams flipping the switch, bruh. And we saw how they looked at it. Like, they did not look like the Chiefs for real all year.
Never
Guys
worried.
was dropping passes. You know, play calling was a little iffy. Pat was turning the ball over at a rate we never seen him really turn the ball over at. So it's like, yo, I really felt like, and I still don't feel like it's that year. I still don't, because at some point that stuff is some of that gonna come back.
I'm not going that far. I'm just talking about
Right.
Just talking about this point.
Right.
What stops here?
Right.
But if you look who ain't been playing in these games. We're number 1 and number 9 together.
Yeah.
Man, this Kadarius Tony.
Yeah.
Been in that lineup.
Yeah, that's fact.
They really go to my should have been a Raven. Rasheed Rice, rookie out of SMU. The Ravens only had a second round pick, but I'm not mad we didn't have a second round pick because that second round pick led to Roquan Smith. But if we could have just finessed to get another one, and we could have got Zay and Rasheed Rice, that's what I wanted in the draft. I wanted Zay and Rasheed Rice together.
That'd have been sick. That'd have been sick.
God, we'd have been looking sweet. But
that would have been sick.
Yeah, we'd have been looking sweet. But you see, they're going more so Rasheed Rice. Travis Kelce didn't have any drops this game. You know, I've been jokingly calling him Travis Andrews because Mark Andrews with the drops.
Right.
Man, yeah, this Chiefs offense has definitely been playing better. Pacheco, they've been feeding Pacheco more, featuring him more. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, former first-round pick out of LSU. They actually been running him a little bit. So they actually been focusing on the run game, and I think that's elevated the Chiefs. But gotta talk about my boys, the Baltimore Ravens. I know I gave a slight preview with the whole rubber meets the road, but Lamar has been playing inspired football. The defense has been playing inspired football. And I know a lot of people, the defense is the reason why. Cut it out. Because for no other quarterback do we go, the defense is the reason why the offense is doing well. But now Lamar, he has a defense, which, by the way, which Baltimore is known for is having a defense, but that ain't stop y'all from trying to push out old Lamar narratives. Now Lamar's been playing at an extraordinary level. Y'all trying to pick at it and swipe it away and try to find ways to poke holes in it. You can't poke holes in it because Lamar led that halftime speech. He said it in the post game. I led the halftime speech, and it was inappropriate. I can't say what I said on this panel or whatever. But best believe I led it. I had to say what I say, and he went out there and showed. Like I said on the R2L show, he not only walked the walk. I mean, talk the talk. He walked the walk. 3 straight tugs, passed to Isaiah Likely, ran one in. I think he actually ran 2 in the second half. I can't remember if he threw one in the second half. No, because the Nelson joint was the first one. He threw that joint. Ran 2 in, threw one to Isaiah Likely, looked phenomenal, just making plays when they needed to be made. I don't think it was a time I looked in the second half, was like, I'm nervous Lamar not going to make this play. Never.
Right, yeah, no, not at all. Nah, the boy got a special skill set, bro. It's and I ain't gonna lie. At first at 10-10, when Buddy took that punt return back for a touchdown to tie it, I was kind of like, all right, now Ravens. And I did start thinking about previous Ravens years in the playoffs. So I'm like, all right, bro, these boys better not fold. Not right now, bro. Don't do that, bro, because they should be the favorite. But how they came out, and I didn't know Lamar gave a speech before coming out in the second half. I did see he was the first one to walk into the tunnel hot.
You saw
he
that
was
face.
upset.
You saw he was pissed.
He was upset. You know what I'm saying? So I did peep that. But like they came out in the second half, bro, on both sides of the ball and straight up dominated, bro. And like I was saying, I think a lot of that is, I call it, first seed jitters. You come out, all right, we done had a couple weeks off. You even, what I'm saying, said that before too, the rust and all that. Some of that, like that stuff is real. You come out sometimes real cold, and they came out cold, but thank God CJ couldn't take advantage of that in the second half, bro, because I think in the future, CJ going to be able to take advantage of stuff like that, but they not there yet. I don't think the team is there yet. Their defense wasn't prepared for what y'all was bringing to the table, and that's why I'm going into this Chiefs matchup, bro. I would say I'm curious to see how Lamar plays against a high-level defense like the Chiefs, because the Chiefs' defense is on that level. But I just seen what he did against the Niners in the regular season. And even though the Niners defense don't quite look the same right now, it's still the Niners defense. And he dominated them boys. You know what I'm saying? And I don't believe in the Chiefs as much respect as I have for Pat. I do not believe that all of their issues just disappear. Guys is gonna catch everything now. Pat not gonna turn the ball over. On the road they just gonna go. I don't see it happening. But I know you liking Pat the way you know what I'm saying, rock with Pat. I know you just a little nervous because anything can happen messing with Pat, bro. I know when we went to the Super Bowl, I was super confident. We got the offense, we got the defense, we got week straight, and then Pat found a way, bro. So, are you nervous about them at all? Or are you like, man, we got it?
I'm always nervous. I mean, like I said, once the kickoff happened with the Texans, I wasn't nervous, but like before the game, boy, I was nervous like I'm about to play. I was like as soon as 4:30 hit, I felt like I had to throw up. Like that's how nervous I was. But man, hey, look, I understand Mahomes. That's my dog. That's my guy. But he an op now. He's an op this week. So all the praise I got for Mahomes stops here. Like it's from here and beyond. Like not beyond, but before, like past. Once we get to here, I ain't got nothing, no rap for Mahomes until after the game. So of course I'm nervous. Like I said, nervous before every game. I don't think it's the NFL. Like you can't go into a game 100% confident because you never know what's going to happen. And to speak on that first week rust, like you said, Lamar even brought it up. He said, "Man, I told him like I felt like we were just a little rusty. We didn't play in like 2-3 weeks, so felt like we had to get a little bit of the rust off." No, I think Zay Flowers actually said this. He was like, "Yeah, we practice, but practice ain't the game, so it's a little bit different. But once we got that rust off, we got rolling, and that was over from after that." Now to your thing about the Chiefs defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Defense has been phenomenal. I mean, shoot, I remember offseason, I told people this defense got players.
Right.
But we played Cleveland defense twice.
Facts.
We've played the Steelers. You brought up the 49ers. We've played defenses, and we've put up points on defenses. So I'm not worried about putting up points on defenses. My worry is just getting them Mahomes and getting them on the ground. It's one thing to get to Mahomes, but not get him on the ground. Like you pressure him, he's going to find a way to make a play. You got to get Mahomes on the ground. And that was one thing we were one of the best in the NFL with this year with 60 sacks. So guys like Clowney, guys like Kyle Van Noy, guys like Justin Madubuike, who had a phenomenal year. I believe 13 and a half sacks as an interior D lineman. Need to find a way home. Need to get exotic. Blitz Kyle. Marlo needs to come back. I love Marlo in the slot, man. Bring Marlo back, but don't bring him outside. Bring him in the slot. Let him play Kelsey. Let him and Kyle switch on Kelsey. Let Stevens go with Rashid Rice. Or we can do Stevens as a field corner. No, boundary corner. Ron Darby as a field corner. Have them stay on their sides. There's so many things you can do. Have Marcus Williams rover. Now, Marcus Williams, this tackling effort, it has to change. I understand you've been hurt, but I've been yelling all year. If you're that hurt, stop playing, get healthy. Well, now we're here, so it ain't no more stop playing, get healthy. You just going to have to suck it up. I gave you weeks of hey, he's hurt, stop playing, get healthy. Geno Stone is good. Geno Stone was leading the league in picks when he was a starter. Geno Stone is more than capable of doing your job. And we signed you for, I believe, 5 years, so you're not going to lose your job to Geno. You are straight, my boy. We are fine with Kyle and Geno and Arthur Millette and guys like that. You should have got healthy. We needed you to get healthy because these tackling efforts are pissing me off. But I digress. Defensively, I know Mike McDaniel was going to scheme up some exotic stuff. He's going to use Roquan. He might even blitz Roquan. I know he's going to blitz Patrick Queen. So we just got to get the Mahomes, get them on the ground. Offense got to do their thing and stay ahead of schedule. Lamar has to be phenomenal because we know it's going to be a quarterback duel.
Facts. Now, before I let you go, bro, this question I'm itching to ask you, bro. Are the Lions really about to do this, bro? Like you was one of the first to come out and say the Lions and the Rams could do it. Well, the Rams got knocked out by the Lions, and now the Lions are here with an opportunity to knock off the 49ers, bro. So let us know, Carl, man, your opinion. Are they going to do it, or is the Niners going to step it up and play like how they was playing in the regular season against the Detroit Lions?
So I think the Lions are going to do it, man. And this is why.
Wow.
Line. Their offensive line is really good. They get pushed. And, okay, let's just say, all right, cool. You stopping David Montgomery. Now you got to deal with Jahmyr Gibbs. If we feel like we're not getting what we need out of David Montgomery, we can go to Jahmyr Gibbs and be fine. We can go to Jared Goff. Hey, Jared Goff so far has not turned the rock over. The Jared Goff now leading the Lions to the NFC Championship is not the Jared Goff you saw leading the LA Rams to the Super Bowl. And I'm just talking about strictly playoffs because that regular season had a really good regular season. But that playoff run was what? 1 touchdown, 3 picks, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. It's not that. Jared Goff has actually been making plays. Jared Goff is actually trustworthy in situations where you need Jared Goff to step up. He had the touchdown to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He had big plays to Laporta. Josh Reynolds had a touchdown to start the game. He's been showing up and showing out week in and week out. And then, like you said earlier, the 49ers secondary can be had. Besides Javarius Ward, we're seeing Ambry Thomas, DB from Michigan, so I had fun while he got them 2 penalties. But he got the 2 penalties. You see Tyler Noah Hufanga out for the year. One of my guys coming into that draft. He's out for the year with an ACL. So they're stuck with Jair Brown, which I don't want to say stuck with as like because that kind of sounds disrespectful, but he's not Hufanga. You get what I'm saying?
Right. He's not all pro.
Yeah. So who's going to step up against an Amon-Ra St. Brown? And then not to mention Khalif Raymond in the return game. He's hopefully coming back. It's not Donovan Peoples-Jones back there returning punts and kicks. Or even they use a lot of people don't realize they use Khalif Raymond as a gadget guy. Jet sweeps, short wide receiver screens. And not to mention Jameson Williams is stretching the defense. Who's going to stop Jameson Williams trying to stretch the defense over the top? It's a lot of guys the Lions can hit you with. And I don't know if the 49ers secondary or defense in general was prepared. I get Fred Warner as a baller. Sam Laporta might have a rough day at the office next Sunday. But they got a lot of guys to combat that. Now, I'm not going to forget about the 49ers on the other side. 49ers can hit you with a lot. But Debo, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? If he plays, is he going to be himself? We know Debo's that tough, physical guy who fights for extra yardage. Is not going to be easy to bring down. But now with the shoulder injury, is he willing to take them hits? If you hit him a couple times, hey, my shoulder, I can't do it. I understand you tough, but at the end of the day, you're a human at the end of the day. Facts. Injuries happen, and if you can't go, you can't go no matter how much stuff you shoot up, pain pills you pop, or whatever it takes for you to play, stuff is going to happen. Brock Purdy, is he going to be the same as last week? Is Kyle Shanahan going to be stubborn and think I can sling the rock around all day? Or is he actually going to stick to a Christian McCaffrey, who's one of the best backs in the league? We don't know. So it's a lot of questions on the 49ers side. I think the Lions can pull it off.
That's whoo. Hey, I hope you're right. That's I'll leave it at that before I get to my prediction. I hope you're right. I wonder because it feels, and I don't want to use the word luck because I don't think it's luck, but I wonder if the magic is gonna wear off at any point with them. Like if this is the time, like all right, y'all got all the way to the conference championship, and now this is a point where y'all fold. Because I'm watching them and I'm kind of waiting on that moment, and I wasn't sure it was gonna happen against the Rams, and I didn't think it would happen against the Bucks, but against the Niners with a defense like that and an offense that can put up points and dominate time of possession, I am wondering if they're finally gonna have that moment where they look over their heads again. You know what I mean? Like how they did at times during the regular season. X's and O's wise, they do have some advantages, and I do like the advantages that they have. I just don't. How many times in a row have they been to the NFC Championship game? The 49ers, they've been to the NFC Championship game like 3-4.
Pedigree.
I'm kind of leaning towards the pedigree, and I'm kind of leaning towards like, when is it going to be their time? Are they not gonna lose to the Eagles? They're not gonna lose to the Cowboys. They're gonna lose to Detroit. No offense to Detroit, bro. But that's who gonna take y'all out on the way to the. I hope it happens. I hope it go down like that. But I'm looking like I don't know, man. I don't want to give too much up. What you want to say something?
Yeah, my rebuttal to that is this: Detroit was a 3 seed who should have probably been a 2 seed if we're being honest. Maybe it's debatable.
That's fact.
The Lions' struggles were really against divisional opponents. No divisional opponents in sight. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. Now. You talk about the magic running out. I can't, in these playoffs, I can't look at a game and go, well, that's weird. That was a crazy magical play that helped the Lions win the game. I can't do it.
That's fair.
Even against the Rams where Aiden Hutchinson got the holding call to help the Lions. He held them. That's a good defensive play. He held them because if he didn't, that was a sack. So you can't go, well, they got saved by the flag. No, because if it wasn't for the flag, it would have been a sack. So
That's fair.
The Bucks game, they put up 31. They put up 2 straight touchdowns, tied 17-17. Now Baker throws the pick. That's a great defensive play. we got baked to throw the pick. So, hey, we won the game. I mean, the 49ers. What was this? They just won this week against the Packers, right? You can go to, well, Andrews Carlson missed the field goal.
I was about to say
the 49ers to take the momentum back. They go down the field. Then Jordan Love just has an out-of-body experience. Like your boy said, had a Brett Favre moment, which I felt so bad for Sidney Rice, South Carolina boy. Felt so bad for Sidney Rice going roll right, going throw left. Like, come on, bro, what are you doing? You threw that in the triple coverage. That could be looked at as, oh, well.
I was going to say the Niners definitely have had more luck in their recent game. I will say that they've definitely had more luck, but they got more pedigree. Like, I tend to believe in them a bit more because they've been here, done that. And they're a team that everybody already viewed as a threat, and the Lions kind of just came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I just is their championship pedigree going to show up in this matchup? Because if it does, I think they beat the Lions. But again, if they play like how they did against the Packers last week, or if Debo don't play, and I do believe he's going to play. I do believe he's going to play. But if they show up like how they showed up last week, it's a wrap. I think it's a wrap. I just don't see, without the Eagles or the Cowboys being in their way and they got to get through the Detroit Lions, no shade towards them. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, bro.
Yeah, but I'm not saying the Lions 100% win. There's no question the Lions win. Obviously, I'm not saying that. But it's a lot of people down the line. And you have to also take that in accountability because the guy that Dan Campbell is, he's going to play to that.
He's going to rally the troops off that. That's facts. That's facts. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on today, my boy. Definitely appreciate you coming on. Shout out to your Ravens. Hey, if Ty watching from Refuse to Lose, and I'm rooting for y'all, bro. I don't know how many times I got to say this.
I called them all.
Bro. Like, man, like, bro, go sit down somewhere. I'm rooting for y'all. I want Lamar to get it done this year. It'll be great for the culture if y'all get it done this year, bro. So, and y'all got my boy Odell too. So I want Odell to get another one too, man. Real talk. But like I said, I appreciate you coming on today, bro.
I appreciate you for having me for sure. And yes, hey, look, one thing you gotta say about Ty though, you can't really blame Ty because Cave and Blaze be coming at Ty. Even early when I called Ty off Blaze out of nowhere, off the top rope.
Man, and I be missing it. That'd be the thing. I be in and out the chat. Then when I jump in, it's like Eagles getting attacked. I'm like, bro, what is going on? Like, so yeah, you probably right about that. Them boys I'm gonna have to hit them up separately. Like, y'all gotta chill out, bro. I'm tired of jumping in the chat and getting slandered. But all right, bro. Appreciate you for coming on, man. For sure.
Sir. Appreciate you, my boy.
Yo. All right, before I end today's show, man, we didn't went way over time, but I had to let all my guests speak, man. I got to let everybody get their thoughts off, man. It's the conference championship. It's the Super Bowl around the corner. I got to let everybody get their thoughts off. I'll make mine quick. 49ers and Detroit Lions. I've been swaying back and forth listening to everybody talk about this matchup. Carl brought up some really great points with the X's and O's, the matchups and things of that nature. I'm looking at the 49ers, though. This is what I'm going to say. Earlier, I questioned, are the Packers really that good or the Niners just on a downward slope? I'm going to go on a limb and say the Packers are really just that good this season. I think they were really just that good. I think they got hot at the right time. I think those young receivers are really good playmakers. I think their run game is serious. I think Jordan Love is serious. And I think Matt LaFleur is one hell of a head coach. So I think they're a football team that I just got to give respect where it's due. Now, as far as the 49ers are concerned, again, like I said, and I'll say it again for the last time, you can't play like that against the Detroit Lions. I think they learned their lesson, though. I do believe they will run the ball, get the ball to Christian McCaffrey more, especially with Debo being hampered with injury. I do think they run the ball more. I do think they dominate time of possession. I do think that they forced Jared Goff into some turnovers in this football game. And I think that's going to be key. I think this defense steps up, get some pressure on Jared Goff, and force him into a couple of turnovers. And if the 49ers can get turnovers on the Detroit Lions, I think they win this game at least by a touchdown. I think at least by a touchdown. If they can get turnovers on the Detroit Lions, if the Detroit Lions can manage to not turn the ball over, then all bets are off. But I think this defense is going to rise up. I think it's going to play to the center that they have been playing at for the most part all season long. The road to the Super Bowl is here, right? Debo might be hurt, but I expect him to play. They don't have any built-in excuses. You got Brock Purdy. You got, Christian McCaffrey. You got, everybody you need. Kittle, everybody is there. Like I said, I expect Debo to play. I think them boys with everything on the line will step up. I think the Detroit Lions will get back to this point at some point, but I don't think it's their time. I think it's the 49ers' time, and I think they come out ultimately with the win and advance to the Super Bowl, unfortunately. And as far as the AFC is concerned, This is probably going to throw some people off. I think the Ravens are going to win this game handedly. I think the Ravens are going to win this game by at least 14 points. I truly do. I think that the Chiefs are an amazing football team. They have a ton of championship pedigree. They are built for this moment, but they are going into the bank against a team in the Ravens. The best time to see the Ravens was the first round when they had to get over the one seed jitters, and they had to, get out of the slump or get the rust off. Now that the rust is off and they are back clicking on all cylinders on both sides of the ball, I think about what they did to the Lions. I think about, what they did to the 49ers. I think about what they did to Miami. And I'm looking like, I know this Chiefs team is not those teams, but the Ravens is different. The Ravens are just a different team on both sides of the ball. And much like I said about San Fran, I believe it's the Ravens' time. And I think it's the Lamar Jackson's time to get to a Super Bowl. And then I'll have to get my Super Bowl prediction if everything pans out the way that, I predicted pan out. But I do think they're going to win this game handily. I don't think that the Chiefs can all of a sudden just play flawless football all the way to the Super Bowl after having such an up and down regular season. It normally doesn't happen like this. This team is special. We understand that. But normally when you have that type of regular season, you come out in the postseason and you do for at least one game where all of those flaws that occurred in the regular season pop up in the postseason. And I think that this is that one game against a defense that's elite, against a quarterback that's elite, that they force some turnovers, they make some plays on the defensive side of the ball, and Lamar Jackson puts on an absolute show to advance to the Super Bowl. So I have the 49ers, if they force some turnovers, I'll just say, let's say 49ers 28. No. Let's say 24-17 Niners. And I have the Ravens. Like I said, I think they win by at least 14. Give me 21-35 Baltimore Ravens. That's how I'm rocking. That's how I'm rolling, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in to today's episode. Again, we went way over time today, but it's playoff football, y'all. What do y'all expect? We got to go over. We got to give everybody enough time to get their thoughts off. I got to get my thoughts off. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in over the radio, on YouTube. Y'all know what it is. Full timeout. A as in apple, J as in juice, A as in alphabet, E as in eat, the number 2, the letter K as in kite. Y'all know that's my @ where to follow me everywhere. That's my social media @ for everything. So y'all follow me. If y'all want to jump on the show, DM me. It's open for everybody. But for now, I'm signing off. I will catch y'all on the next episode of Full Time Out.